So for every £100 this business sells, they pay in direct cost £63,
Yes, that's correct.
and then they're left with £36.
Yes.
Then they have overheads
Yes.
of £20, and then they're left with 16. So this is the profit that you would see normally on your P&L, yeah?
Yes.
Then from there you pay interest if you have had loan and things
Yes.
like that. You pay tax on the profit and you take dividend out.
Yes.
What you're left with is 47 pence,
Yes.
yeah? But then for you to sell that, you've got to produce the stock in this case, don't you?
Okay.
You've got to invest before you
Yes.
get the money out. So this is the money you've got to invest to generate that.
That.
So, but you only have 48 pence, which
Oh, I
means
see.
you're short.
So that means you've got to get there for that either by retaining your dividends or borrowing money,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
taking on another shareholder.
Yeah. Or anyway, yeah, anyone who will be able to finance that gap. Obviously, the more you grow £100, the bigger this shortfall.
I mean,
will
the
be.
obvious thing to me looks is, well, why are they taking so much dividend if they can't?
Because they need to leave, don't they?
Yes. Yes.
So it is what happens. It's business owners don't pay themselves as such until the business has started to thrive.
Yes.
So because we want to show better numbers,
Yes.
but the thing, you can't hide the cash. The cash, reveals its head
Yes.
3-4 months down the line, 4 months, a year down the line. You can't hide it. Those are the
Yes.
numbers.
Yes.
So accountants often say, I can manipulate some of these things. They can manipulate this, they can manipulate that, but not the cash
Yes.
part. So yeah, and then how the business is managed really depends on the person. So if they're better at negotiating business terms, they'll have that to be minus, which means that the creditors will be financing that
Yes.
rather than them themselves or them finding the money. But yeah, this is really how well the business is run, how efficient it is, and how good is the person in negotiating terms. And often, there is this thing, when you start working with a supplier or with someone, obviously, that they dictate the terms because they wanna establish confidence that relationship's gonna work. Once you see that there is evidence that relationship works both ways, then you can always go back and renegotiate the terms. Nothing's stopping you. But that's what lots of people don't do. Because they say, oh, but we've always worked like that. Yet you have, there's a trust here going on. Make most of it. They're not going to go off and lose you as a client because, you're changing now the terms. And tell them that you guys are, intending to grow, and then they'll come forward with a different way of supporting you. We decide the terms, customize them to the customers we work based on the volume of work, don't we? It's nothing set in stone, but so long as you're aware of these numbers.
When it comes to dividends, giving yourself dividends versus taking a wage, is there some sort of rule of thumb which is the best way of doing it? Or just take what you feel you're comfortable with, or is there sort of, and for that value in your business, is it better to take dividends or just take a wage and have less money at the end and don't take dividends, or is
It's
there a sort of-
entirely up to you, but
depends
the
on
whole
what you
thing is that you want to know where your business is at. You want to know how well it's performing right now, don't you? So you want to have set of accounts for someone else, you know what I mean, for the public. But make sure you know your numbers every day. Not every day, but you know what I mean. So make sure, so if there is, if you're not paying yourself a wage, but the business is benefiting from a particular skill or from time or whatever it is, make sure you recognize that cost. And then you'll know how much you're left with. And then you say, okay, we've got serious work to do here. Let's focus on these particular ratios. Let's turn them around. So often you would go for what is part of least resistance. So there is a quick win we can always get anywhere. And then as you're improving that will gain momentum, and then you start tackling the stuff that are actually more complicated to do. But you've got to be aware of how your business is performing, and know to measure the right things, because I always say, when a baby is just conceived, you don't want to see how it's going to look like. So if you start taking scores then and there, it's going to look very different to 9 months when it's born. So it is our way, the way we track progress should change. Yeah, so sometimes we put too much pressure on ourselves, and we want the results, but there is a waiting time that needs to happen with every improvement we make. But so long as our intention is on the right things, we'll be able to see the results, for sure.